Hey there. So we have already talked about the Esterbrook ST, the Dutch Pen Show 2024 exclusive Sugar Rush. Today we'll talk about the Leonardo MomentoZero Grande 2.0 Dutch Pen Show 2024 Sugar Rush. Very attractive pen in my mind. Material made by the great Jonathan Brooks, so you know you're going to get beautiful acrylic, wonderful swirls there. It looks like there is some sort of... Actually, I was going to say gold specks. No, I don't think so. I think that's just the material that looks that way. But that gold, that is pretty glorious. So a very attractive, interesting pen. I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. This is another limited edition. I will do a writing sample and I will tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. But there are some things to talk about with this pen. So let's have a closer look. Okay, so let's go with the Leonardo MomentoZero Grande 2.0 Dutch Pen Show 2024 Sugar Rush Limited Edition. I just wanted to make that name as long as I could, and I succeeded. It comes in this wonderful box. This is a special limited edition box by Leonardo. These are made in Italy. This is the 1.5 milliliter piston. And this is the cardboard outer sleeve. It's almost like an optical illusion type thing, because if you move this around, you stare intently at it, things start to move, at least in my mind, but that probably means I'm insane. Okay, take off the outer sleeve, then you get this simple black box, but it's really quite nice, and it's pretty substantial. It's especially very thick. So nice big box. Then we have inside various items that I shall show you. I really like that they put the logo inside the box. I think that is a cool touch to do. We have the international warranty booklet, which is quite colorful and nice. I really like that. And then we have this pen sleeve with a very shark tooth edges, which is quite nice and very, it's kind of soft, so you can put your pen in there. It also came with a little medallion that's on the clip. And finally, you get a bottle of Leonardo ink. This is their black ink. So kind of nice. I also really like these octagonal bottles. I don't know, it might just be me. I just really like these bottles a lot. They're nice. Oh, and it's it's 40 milliliters of ink. So that comes to you with the pen. I'm just going to put the box out of the way. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. There we are. And then here is that beautiful pen. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that. I'll show it to you right next to a Pilot Metropolitan. It's longer, it's girthier, but this is the Grande model. I will twist it around so you can see the material better, but I'll first give you the quick rundown. 574 euros and 38 cents without VAT. Remember, Appelboom, you can get a 10% discount by clicking the banner on my website if you want to knock some more off of that. Nib options: extra fine, fine, medium, broad, stub, and elastic 14K, fine or extra fine. This does have a gold nib, which is very cool. Jonathan Brooks created this material of, Carolina Pen Company to look like the original Dutch candy. Different makers did that for the 3 different pens launched at the show. The pen does have the Dutch Pen Show logo on the nib, and there are only 100 pens made. But bear in mind, there are 3 trims. So I'm assuming there really are 300 pens, but each trim 100 pens, I'm assuming. This is number 35 out of 100. You have a rose gold trim, a silver trim, and a gold trim, so a yellow gold trim. Okay, let's look at the pen. Jonathan Brooks is the man when it comes to making materials, because look at it. There's depth to this material. I love these gold swirls. As I grew up, we had these hard candies which were raspberry flavored. I hope there are Dutch people out there who know exactly what I'm talking about. I loved those things, and this pen really reminds me of that. So it's nice to get the blast of nostalgia. It's just a MomentoZero Grande, so I will go over the parts, but the material is I just absolutely love it. The swirls, it's just fantastic. At least I think so. But then I really like Jonathan Brooks material. If you don't like Jonathan Brooks materials, that's perfectly fine. It just means you're insane. Now here on top, I'm just joking. Here on top we have this sort of conical end on the cap. We have, in this case, the silver trim, right? So chrome color trim. We have the little wheel. These clips, it's hard to show, but they work quite well with those little wheels, I found. I really like this Art Deco center band they do. Looks really cool to me. So we have the slim ring, the wider band, and another slim ring. Here's another slim ring, and then down there is a final one. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to zoom in to give you a better view of this material. I really think it's quite something. Very, very attractive. Those gold swirls too, I absolutely love. Anyway, so I think I've made my case that I like the material. We have the barrel, it tapers down, and here we have a piston turning knob. Actual piston, 1.5 milliliter capacity. You won't run any out of ink very soon. There is a blind engraving on the barrel. I don't know how well it shows up. I think this kind of captures it most. I'll read it to you. It says Leonardo Officina Italiana, Dutch Pen Show 2024 exclusive, LE035 out of 100. And because it is a blind engraving, it doesn't stand out. I know some people who hate engravings filled with the white stuff that they use to fill engravings because it stands out more. Here, if you don't want to see it, you can choose to not see it, because look at it. Can you see that engraving? Like, you really need, it needs to catch your eye. So for my friends who don't like that, I think this is a really cool touch. The pen unscrews. I'll just take the cap out of the way. Again, beautiful size of pen, a nice ink window. I've played a lot with this pen. I love that the 2.0 MomentoZeros come with the ink window, because you can just see how much ink is left. It's very practical. We have threads. Oops, I just dropped it, but that's okay. It's not that there's ink everywhere now. These threads are not sharp, and there is a bit of a step down from the barrel, which you can see. I don't find it bothersome, simply because the section is quite big, and I don't notice that step down really. Number 6, nib. This is gold 14K 585 broad. It does have the Dutch Pen Show logo engraved on it. It's a little hard to capture in the light, but I'll make sure there's a close-up picture on my website, and the delicious ebonite feed. Very nice flow properties. Larger pen, but not obscenely so, and if you want to, you can post it, and I think the proportions of this pen posted are perfect. Not too big, not too small, posed deeply enough, but not ridiculously so. I like it. But then I like my Leonardos, it's true, and I won't lie about it. Let's do a writing sample, and I really tried this time to find an ink that was not just washable blue, but something that actually matches the pen and the candy theme. So here we have the Leonardo MZGDPS silver trim. This is a broad 14K nib, and this is Edelstein Star Ruby Red. Yeah, okay. Lovely writer, smooth nib, delicious flow. Really, really good. I'll show you that in just a second. Fast writing. I just love the flow of this pen. It's fantastic. Here, I'll show you. This is under no pressure. Wet, delicious. Shape of the nib. Sometimes with broader nibs you get something that's a little stub-like. This is still, I would say, very round. Line variation, as always, very careful. This is not a flex nib. You can get an elastic nib. If flex matters to you, get that rather than try to push this nib. But as you can see, you can squeeze out some line variation. I just wouldn't recommend it, but there we are. For those of you who enjoy such a thing, reverse writing in such a nice wet pen is very possible, and it takes this broad to, I would say, an extra fine, and it keeps going, and it's not particularly scratchy. So if that matters to you, you can make it happen. Isn't this ink a nice match? I was pretty proud of myself because I'm not very good at matching up pens and inks. We should talk about likes and dislikes. Let's do that now. What do I like and what do I not like about the Leonardo MomentoZero Grande 2.0 Dutch Pen Show 2024 Sugar Rush? I think there is a lot to be liked in this pen. So there are the three trims, rose gold, silver and gold, and I quite like this trim. It's certainly a bit colder with the silver, but the material is so attractive, I don't mind. When Jonathan Brooks makes a material, people love it, and I think that is completely justified. Different people will have different opinions, and you may not be into pink pens. I am not, but I will say immediately, I think this one is stellar. It's gorgeous. Leonardo, in my mind, makes good pens. They're nice pens. The ones I have had write well, have all written well. The 2.0 has the ink window, which is great. It's a lovely size that I think works for a lot of people, but it is on the bigger side, so do be aware of that. In this case, number 6 nib, but it is gold, which is very nice. Justifies the price more. You already have the piston filler, has the Dutch logo, sorry, the Dutch Pen Show logo engraved on the nib. That is awesome. Ebonite feed, and this nib is a joy. What an absolute delight of a pen to use, and I really can't say anything but that. It is lovely. I have absolutely enjoyed using it. I like the new grip section that Leonardo has been using for a while now. I love it, and it's always interesting when I do these reviews because I've had really positive experiences with Leonardo, so that might bias me a bit. I really like the materials Jonathan Brooks makes. That may bias me a bit. But having said that, at the end of the day, it's about how a pen writes, not about how it looks necessarily. That factors into it. The model, how comfortable it is, all of that, of course, factors into it. But you have to love picking up a pen and writing with it. And then, in my mind, it ticks all the boxes it should tick. Well, in this case, I love writing with this pen. This is one, occasionally Yo sends me something that I regret having to send back. This is a good example because it is a fantastic writer and I just love it. So there's all that. Things I don't like so much, well, let's be frank, it's not cheap. 574 euros it's no pocket change. Also, I know that Leonardo is now doing number 8 nibs on their Grande models. I do think a number 8 nib would look good. The number 6, it's fine. Again, it's a great nib, ebonite feet, that's lovely. I think it would look really cool with a number 8 nib. But you know, that's just me. So those are my two issues. I've had no issues with this beyond that. Every time I uncap it, it writes. That was completely full of ink. I've used up quite a lot. And isn't this a lovely ink combination? Doesn't that work for the Sugar Rush theme? I thought so, thank you. I'm not very good at matching up inks and pens, but here we are. I think this time I did pretty well. Now, having said that and taken up enough of your precious time, a very kind thank you to Joost for lending me this pen. I really appreciate it. I'm sure you'll get it back at some point. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye.